Nah, we got it. Let me play this other game. I'm playing this other game. What are you talking about? I got dual monitor setup, my boy.
Like, Deuce was awesome, Stetson was awesome, kind of to watch throughout the game.
Stetson,
but
awesome.
Yeah, and those he accurate as fucking, like, had some great zip on the ball.
Yeah, but remember, he's too old, and he partied his face off that time in Texas.
That's right.
And he got arrested, and he came out with a big old lipper in, I think.
Yep.
Walking out of the jail. In the middle of the combine process.
Exactly.
So that's going to be a red flag for some teams.
Yep.
And we can understand that. But with that being said, he's doing a lot of this shit in Georgia.
Yep.
He just was 5 years older than everybody, so nobody knew if it was impressive or not.
Yeah.
And then he comes into the NFL first game, and he's dicing up a defense that has an NFL jersey.
Yeah.
He's this year's Brock Purdy, right? We can just kind of cement that already if he gets to play.
Matthew Stafford is back playing. I assume great football because he's Matthew Stafford, and that's what he does. We were all very confused that he came back and played this year because we thought with the injury that there's a massive 2nd and 21. 2nd and 21 on a dime from Stetson Bennett.
Yeah.
He's 26. He can play another 14 years, especially with the science they got, LA.
Oh, yeah.
The rules.
Look at him dropping it in a bucket. Hi. Teammates love him. You know that?
For sure.
Have to.
Absolutely.
You guys are ripping more zings than the fucking rest of the team. And
It's a lot
on
of patience.
the dot.
Yeah.
Hitting guys in stride, too, letting them run afterwards.
And we talk about comfort. Look how fucking comfortable this guy is. That was in 1, 2, 3,
Chill.
What, do you complete 30 passes?
Yeah, was this guy
Just
playing
about.
Big 12 football right there? It looked like Big 12
He was
football.
very impressive when you went
How about
back
that
to the
offensive line right there?
Yeah.
Hey, Rams, good luck. Your offensive line was the problem.
My
Fucking go.
Stetson Bennett's playing fucking sevens, 7-on-7. No pressure at all.
Cooper Cup back, too.
Got him. He's quarterback.
Yeah.
Did he get hurt? What happened to him, Dirty?
Hammy.
Is he back?
No, not yet.
Oh, come on.
Never mind. Good
Stafford
season.
said this is the healthiest he's ever felt going into a season in a long time.
I love that.
Yep.
I love that.
Yep.
These old heads saying the same things.
Yeah.
Check that spinal cord.
I was gonna say his
Whoa!
attached by a paperclip, so I hope he's feeling healthier than he ever has.
You think he doesn't know more than you two dumbasses do about the state of his spine right now?
No, definitely not. But I don't know if he knows more than AQ Shipley because AQ's also been through a very similar.
So what happened to AQ, just for those that have not heard the story, AQ Shipley, friend of the program, obviously hosted In the Trenches. Can't wait for that.
Yes, God.
Pumped. That's soon.
He played football a long time in the NFL. Okay, he is just classic
He's
NFL
been a
football.
free agent this whole time.
I love football.
Yes.
Meathead.
Every day of his life, I love football. Still to this day, living life as if he's in the NFL, in his backyard. I love football. I love football. Then he finally gets the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, wins the Super Bowl on teams with teammates with Tom Brady. Everything's going good. Great. Team might win a Super Bowl here. Here we go. Playing, living.
Yeah.
And then he gets hurt in the game. And then the next day, he goes to a doctor, and his doctor comes in after reading the scans and says, "You can never play football again." Just like, football's over.
Have a good day.
Come again?
And he goes, what happened? And they tell him about the spinal contusion, where it's not the spine, but it's the thing that the spine goes through. You see, you have a concussion or contusion, I forget what the contusion on it, that made it swell up, you see. So at one particular part where your spine goes through, it's tighter than at other places. So if you were to potentially get bopped in that particular area, you know, obviously we know what would happen then, and that is the scary part of this whole thing. So that is why we cannot clear you to play any physical sport ever again or whatever.
Yeah.
Was the message that he got. Now there's obviously different grades and levels, I'd assume, of the contusion and the swelling and everything like that. But when we heard that was potentially what Matthew Stafford had last year, at this stage of his career, with how much money he's made, how many records he's broken, how many, you know, he has a Super Bowl championship. How many other things would you need to say, you know what, stamp it? I did live up to the hype that was made to make me the highest paid human in the United States of America the day that I was drafted.
Yeah.
You know, that's what happened. He was same draft class as me. 2009, he got drafted and got like 60-some million or something.
Old school.
Old CB. Just so much money, more money than anybody in the NFL at the time. And he went to Detroit, obviously. Detroit experienced what Detroit has experienced for a long time.
He did his best.
But he just broke all the records. He's beloved up there. And then he moves to the big city.
Oh, yeah. Bright lights.
Finally goes to Mexico and says, you know what? Yeah, I do want to win. Just fucking sue me.
I hate losing.
Okay, I love Detroit, but I don't want to be a bad guy. I just want to be a football guy. It's all I've ever wanted to be. But also, God damn it, the only thing they judge everybody on is how many Super Bowls you got. You know what they say about Dan Marino?
Never won the big one.
Dan couldn't win the Super Bowl. It's like Dan, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, didn't win the Super Bowl. That's all they ever say. Matt Stafford said, you think we're ever want to win? All right, let's go to Mexico, and then we'll go to the Los Angeles Rams. And then the first year, you'll win a Super Bowl. Then you'll have all the marketing deals that you want. Everybody will see how cool you are, and everybody will finally respect you as a football player. Okay, sweet, let's do that. That happens.
Yep.
And then he gets hurt again. And then he comes back. It's like, bro, at what point is what we all thought.
Yeah.
But back to the original point. Matthew Stafford just fucking football.
He loves football.
He's just a fucking football player.
That's all there is to it.
Go to Los Angeles, that doesn't change him.
No.
He's still that Texas fuck that went through Georgia and was up in Detroit trying to build up Grit City up there.
Oh, yeah.
That's all he's trying to do.
That one
You
person
put-
was talking shit on football, so he pushed her off the stage.
That did not happen.
She was a terrible human, though, after the fact. True. People looked into her.
Found out that some
Yep.
of the things she said in the past,
Yep.
that was a whole situation.
Yeah,
I
it
was
was
on
a-
vacation during
Crazy 2 days for you.
and dropped myself right in the middle of it
Yeah.
by giving money to her.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
help, trying to help.
Forgot about
Yeah.
Bad guy.
Yeah, of course. That's how it works.
Oh my God.
Forgot all about it.
That was quite a babyface heel turn.
That
was.
crazy.
One of the quickest ever.
Yeah.
But anyways, that was at a Super Bowl parade.
Yeah.
Yep.
They won a Super Bowl their first year. He's still playing. Aaron Donald's still there. Why not?
Sure.
Stetson Bennett's in the building.
Yeah.
You know, that means good vibes. And then if something does happen to Matthew Stafford, looks like Stetson Bennett got him in really good hands.
Yeah.
And he was stropped.
Yeah.
I mean, his shoulders were like absolutely jocked, and he was throwing his deep ball beautifully. He's obviously been a national champion a couple different times. The knock was, I guess, that he was old. I guess the knock was that he was old or whatever. He slipped to what, the 5th round? Was it 6th?
I thought they took him in I thought they took him earlier.
The 4th or 5th?
3rd, maybe? He was not in the conversation, though, of being like the 4th round of like the quarterback this entire draft. I mean, I guess Aiden O'Connell as well out of Purdue, who looked very good for the Raiders, and he's played a lot of football. But this whole Stetson Bennett story is fascinating to me because obviously he got a little boozed up down in Texas.
Yeah, raised in hell.
Got a little boozed up down in Texas, came out, half a tin in his mouth. I mean, you got to do what you got to do in that particular standpoint. Be smarter about it. Everybody's hoping, but just because he was old was why he was knocked. Like now it's preseason football, but like the guy was killing it, and he did in college too, and he could move in college too, and he could obviously lead in college and throw the ball. Now he had better weapons than everybody. That's not his fucking fault. I mean, why is this guy coming in? Why didn't he have as much hype? And what do you think of him as an NFL guy going forward?
First of all, the reason he didn't have a lot of hype is because I don't know what he measured out at, but if you look at him, you talk about him looking ripped.
He's straight.
Most people look at him. What was that kicker from
What he's going through, bro?
From the Saints?
Yeah, Blake Group. Yeah, 5'7".
Most people.
He's fast as fuck, bro. He's a little Darren Sproles.
He looks. People just don't respect because he doesn't have the stature. That's always been a knock on him his entire life. That's why he was a walk-on at Georgia and left to go to a junior college, and they begged him to come back because they were running out. They didn't have a quarterback, and they wanted him to run some scout team stuff. I mean, his story should be a movie. But the guy, people that play with a chip on their shoulder, this guy wakes up in a bad mood. He hates the world because the world has doubted him his whole life. And so he walks around with a massive chip on his shoulder, flipping everybody off, just walking into McDonald's. He's just mad. So I love that. I love that personally. And so that's how he's played quarterback the last 2 years at Georgia. And even his own fans, not last year, the year before, on their way to a national championship, they're playing in the SEC championship. They're still asking for the other quarterback. They're still saying, wait, do we have to play this guy? And he leads them to a national championship, his own fan base. So he just has this, it's like he has scars. So he's incredibly driven, incredibly intelligent, off the charts intelligent. My big thing with trying to project a college quarterback into the NFL is it's impossible to predict, is the processing. The jump from college to pro, the ability to see things in college, come off of primary, find the second, find the third option. In college, in an NFL offense, that guy now is the offensive coordinator with the Ravens. He worked through it. I mean, by last year, he was like a coach, an offensive coordinator playing quarterback. That guy was working through it. That's why I love Mac Jones so much, his ability in Sark's scheme. He worked through it fast. And so these guys in college that have that ability, I'm not surprised that he went and played well the other night. I don't know how many more chances he's going to get. You know, obviously Stafford's healthy and ready to go. But he's just a guy I've learned over time not to bet against. And with Sean McVay, who's going to get dialed in on what this kid does well if he ends up playing, I don't know, man. I'm excited to see if he ever does get an opportunity because he's just that guy that is out to prove everybody wrong.
Mike Florio, Pro Football Talk, stopping back by again every single day. You can check him out on the Peacock NFC Sports on Peacock Fast Channel.
They are.
Reside every single day, surfing off of or drafting off of Mike Florio and Dan Patrick every single day. How are you doing there, Mike?
Doing great, Rich. How are you today?
I'm doing fine. Right now, I've put my guys Chris Brockman and T.J. Jefferson on the same designation on our depth chart. They're both ones.
Thanks, four.
So that is just again. I'm just inspired by what Todd Bowles is doing with his quarterback situation right now. Did you see that? He put Baker Mayfield and also
Trask.
Mayfield. What's
and
some of the order?
every year there's something like this, and of course they put out the depth chart, and then they say it doesn't mean anything. Well, then why are you putting it out? The league requires them to put it out before the preseason opener. They downplay it. They say a PR person put it together. Well, it's at least some educated idea of where things stand, and obviously they don't want to tip their hand as to whether it's going to be Mayfield or Trask starting week one. The key, I think, is going to be the third preseason game. Bowles has been asked about that before, which guy's going to start that one. That's going to go a long way toward letting us know who's going to be the week one starter, and that's the bottom line. At some point, you got to get one of these guys ready. And the longer you dilute the reps, the harder it is for the guy who's going to have the job to be fully prepared for.
Well, I just thought to myself, with a bye week at week 5, if Mayfield's son for some reason doesn't perform well enough in the first 4 weeks and things are really taking on water, that's when you go with Trask after a bye. And if that doesn't happen, then bye-bye to everybody. And in comes Caleb Williams' attempts, and then, then
one dropping in.
Damn the torpedoes, as opposed to starting Trask and having Baker come in there and hold a clipboard, which is, I think, the demoralizing way to go. I just don't see that happening, Mike.
He took his shot in Tampa, and he took a very, very low-dollar contract. The Ravens reportedly were interested in him. That was back when Baltimore didn't know what was going to happen with Lamar Jackson. And if Baker Mayfield loses his competition with Kyle Trask, now look, Trask was brought in ostensibly to be the guy who takes over when Tom Brady goes, and now Tom Brady's gone. Why would you need Baker Mayfield if Trask is developing the way you want? I think the fact they signed Mayfield was interpreted by many as an indication that maybe Trask isn't what they need him to be. And if Trask is winning this thing, it's just not a good sign for Mayfield. And you're right, too. Anytime there's a protracted competition like this, more often than not, the guy that wins it simply wins. Be the first guy to finish.
I got
it. Didn't happen last year with Geno Smith and Drew Lock, because Smith was great from the start of the season and never let up. But if you struggle, if you're teetering toward being out of playoff contention, if